All
Awesome.
right, sir.
Awesome.
Once again, welcome and thank you for joining us tonight. Cabral, our phenomenal IM educator. The call is all yours, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be on the call with you guys today. Thanks for having me on. Ready to go over some valuable information with you guys. Share a little bit about my story because, like you said, I used to be kind of just like you guys, starting out in the Forex world, learning new things like a customer. And I remember my first month inside this industry, I signed up. I learned for 30 days. I paid my auto ship, my monthly fee. I paid the first month, was working a job. I paid the second month, was working a job. The third month I couldn't pay. But I'm going to tell you something special happened in that 2 months that I was here. And this was way long ago. Like you said, 8 years ago, 2015, late 2015, my journey began. And I've been through a lot of experiences. I've had a lot of ups and downs. I've had a lot of times where I've, gone 2 steps forward, take 1 step back. I've had to take a lot of steps back in my days. So it's been a great journey. Love the process of things. But going back to what I was saying, 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I couldn't afford to actually really do this for more than 3 months. But the amount of information I learned in that 2, 3 months and like the people I was surrounded by and the leadership, I was on Zoom calls and I never was on a Zoom call before. I was getting on Zoom calls and webinars, right? Go-to webinars at the time, and even Skype calls. We were even starting on Skype calls. And it was just like the fire, the community, and the environment I was in. That was key. For that 2 months, I was like, this is it. I'm doing this. Even though, even though it kind of set me back, it really didn't. It was a seed I was planting. I was like, wow. In that 2 months, I was on these Zoom calls learning from people like, man, I'm gonna figure this out. So I made the decision. I hear a lot of I hear a lot of leaders talk about it, making that decision to decide. You decide to do something and you're going to do it, right? You decide, I'm not going to stay where I am. And that's what I decided. It took me 2 months to figure that out, being in this industry years ago, because I started doing personal development. I started reading books. I started reading books that people would tell me to read. And some of the books maybe you guys have even heard about, right? Some of the books our mentors recommend to us. It was the first time I started reading books. I didn't read books in school, but for the first time, I'm like, man, I'm reading books and I'm loving it. I'm loving the knowledge. That's a little bit about my story that started, kind of like you guys starting in an industry of, there's personal development, there's knowledge, information, but now, now with technology, information is really accessible. It's 2023. Information is very, very accessible nowadays. The way we receive information, how we get it, we can get it really quick, right? So in my days, I've learned a lot of this valuable information through experience. Now things are learned. Now we can learn things a lot quicker, and we have technology. And I'm going to go over some of that technology that we have. One of our amazing tools, the gold scanner. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been hearing about it. It's new, something we released with the Forex package, right? It's included in the Forex package. I'm going to show you where that is here in a minute. Well, this is just a quick little intro and a quick little story I want to explain on why I chose gold, what I did to make the difference in my trading too. Years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, I just decided to do something and I stuck to it and it made the difference. But myself and Christian Lopez, a little background about us too. Well, we're from the same city. We're both from Canada, right? We're both from the same city, and we both have a very good understanding of gold through our own experiences. He started a little bit after me in the market, maybe 2 or 3 years after I started. He was working full time as a mechanic when he started. He has a very interesting story, actually. They can relate to a lot of people because when he started trading, he started how I did, a customer, right? Became an educator, but he was working a full-time job when he was doing this. Even as he was progressing to become an educator, he was working a full-time job. Myself and him, we created this gold scanner. We have a really good understanding of gold, again, through our own experiences. I have my experience. He has his experience in the market. We have our styles and unique differences, but we trade the same. We look for the same confirmations. We use the same confirmations. So him and myself, we do live education pretty much every day, right? I'm live every day teaching about this on Go Live foreign exchange advanced package. So is he. And I want to explain gold a little bit. Why gold? Why do we like gold so much? And why is it the only thing I like to trade? Starting back from like 4 or 5 years ago, I started really just focusing on gold. I like the way it moves, but going back, I used to try to trade everything. I was, trading this, trading that. I was trading a lot, right? Maybe I was trading too much pairs. So I just made a decision and said, you know what? I'm going to focus what I like or what I'm good at. I said, instead of trying to be really good at everything, I'm going to zero in and focus more on one thing, maybe even 2 or 3 things. Gold was one of those things I chose. It was a couple of things, I think 2 or 3 pairs I chose. And I'm like, I'm just going to stick to this and kind of block everything out. Overall, I would say it made me better. So some gold market basics I want to go into, why we like gold. Let me resume this. Give me a minute. Might have stopped sharing. There we go. When we look at market cap, one thing I want to talk about and one thing to be educated on about gold. I don't think a lot of people know this. It's very basic, but it makes sense and something to understand. Gold has a very big market cap, right? In the Forex market. Gold is in the Forex market, but it's not a Forex pair, but it moves like one. If you're familiar with trading Forex pairs, gold's really popular now. But if you've never traded gold, it's similar to a Forex pair, but it moves a lot more than a Forex pair. One of the reasons is because the market cap it has. It has just under a $13 trillion market cap. I remember years ago when this was at 10 trillion, 9, 10 trillion years ago, not that long ago, COVID days. This has gone up trillions of dollars since COVID, this market cap over the years. Over the last 5 years, it's gone up. So there's price movements every day, every week, or in your market sessions, like your London session, your New York session, or your Sydney, Tokyo session, right? Those price movements, they might be 1% or 0.5% or not even a 1% change in the day, but they can be pretty big moves, pretty decent moves that can happen day by day on gold. It has a big market cap. You got other companies here or banks, Bitcoin getting up there on the list, climbing the ladder. You got banks though. You might be familiar with Chase. Some of these things you might be familiar with. Gold has that really big market cap. So it has a consistent flow in movement every week, every day. It's good for really all styles, but you have to have rules for all styles, right? It's good for looking for longer term moves, but we don't look for a lot of those. It's really good for the scalping and short term, medium term style. I would say scalping kind of day trading style. Or if you guys are familiar with intraday trading style in the market. So let's go back to this real quick. I want to explain just a couple more things on this, just a couple more things on the gold basics, and then get into one of our strategies and explain what we did to make this strategy, right? So we see a benefit in the gold market. Sometimes currency pairs can be slow, or not necessarily that they're slow. It's just the way that they move. Slow is fine. Slow things are fine. I can get, risk to reward. There's always ways to approach slower things. Slower just means not as big as of a pip count in short periods of time. So these are a few reasons why we like gold. Faster moving market, because what I just showed you, right? That market cap, it's a big market cap, right? It moves a lot in the New York session, especially in New York Open, around 8:20, 8:30 in the morning. New York session, that's when the gold market starts moving, or a little bit before London Open. We know times. Christian and myself, we specialize in gold, like understanding of its psychology and time. And there's just a vast majority of things that we understand about gold. That's why this scanner is primarily focused on gold. And that's why we've named it what it is. It's an element in metals, actually. The name for it is an element in metals, like gold or even silver, if I'm not mistaken. Silver, but like gold, it's an element inside. So faster moving market leads to higher pip count in shorter periods of time. You know, you can get 50 pip moves, faster moves. I've even seen 100 to 200 pip moves on gold in a matter of an hour, 30 minutes to an hour, a couple hours. It's not that we're looking for 100 and 200 pip moves in that time. We understand that's possible, but we try to just get, the medium ground, 40, 50 pip moves, 30 pip moves that happen consistently, because we know it moves quite decent. It'll move 50 pips, 100 pips a day or more. We don't got to catch it all, but every day it's happening on gold. So those are the reasons we like it. Number 4 is my favorite, because number 4 is what I'm about to get into on how we created the scanner, the strategy, Golden Zone, which is an automated strategy, which is huge nowadays, right? Number 4, it respects simple price action, like break and retest, support and resistance. It respects simple things. If you're familiar with traditional Forex education, like support and resistance, market structure, maybe even trend lines, stuff like that, simple stuff you learn in the beginning, the foundation, I call it. The stuff we teach is the foundation of everything. There's levels to learning, but the foundation is what we always stick on. Like I said in the beginning, I've taken a lot of steps back in the market over 8 years. Over 8 years, you take some steps back, you rewind a little bit, right? And every time I take a step back, it usually leads me to the basics, the foundation, how we got here, right? Sometimes we go fast in life, we get ahead. We got to remember, how did we originally get here? That works in the market too. That works in every multiple aspects of life, right? That's been my market phase, right? That's been my progression through the market. Getting here took a lot of time, but then sometimes I've taken, little steps back to be like, okay, let's go back to the basics. So we focus on really basic things. So what we did, myself and Christian and I, right? We know how to analyze the charts. Like, as humans, right? We know how to analyze the charts. We can go on the charts and analyze things, and we can draw our zones. We can draw our support and resistance. We can draw our key levels. We can draw whatever it is on the charts we see. Through our experience, we understand gold. So what we've done is we've automated how we look at the charts, different confirmations that we look for. We have different types of confirmations that we look for to determine high probability setups. We found a way, and it didn't take a long time. It took years of, again, experience. And then almost 8 months, I would say, of a team of working on this, not just myself and Christian. Christian put a lot of work into this himself too, with a team, to automate what we do and what we see. Because what we do, and we have a good understanding of what happens, it's patterns that repeat themselves. Technology in this day and age, 2023, technology it's changing. It gets better. It innovates. It adapts. Even us, myself, I'm adapting to the technology, right? that this has, you know? So we're gonna even find ways to make it better. You guys have seen like there's a lot of good progression, a lot of good results we're seeing that people are using these tools on their own with. And it's only going to get better because just like technology adapts. We do too. We think of things, we think of ideas, and so do you guys, right? A lot of you guys have helped out with some thoughtful ideas. But we're going to get into one of our strategies, all right? Our favorite, it's the automated strategy called Golden Zone. All right, I'm going to talk a bit about that, show you guys where it is too, right? In the I'm center, under strategies, courses, you have your different courses here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, go back. Under foreign exchange, you have strategies and apps. Now it's the gold logo there. That's where you can access it, and it's going to direct you to the page, the login URL page, right? Which you can see I'm on right now, which is here, Aurous.im/chart. You can type that in your browser and it'll take you to the scanner. All right. This comes with two strategies right now that Christian and myself both teach on Go Live. On my favorite sessions and his favorite sessions, we have videos there. Soon, we're going to get the strategies, training videos there, which will be like a boot camp video breakdown of like video 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and progress for more. We have Gold Watch and Golden Zone. I just explained a lot of like what it does, right? Golden Zone does what we do. Like we could go on our charts, analyze things. You know, I got my other chart here. I can analyze gold and look for stuff. I've spent a lot of time. Remember what I did? What I did is I said less is more. I said I'm just going to focus on gold, and everybody would hear me about gold. Everyone's like, "Oh, Ivan trades gold. Ivan does this. Gold, 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 gold." And then Christian as well. We just said let's just focus on gold, and we got good at it. We did years of practice of it and years of understanding of it. So Golden Zone automates what we've just learned and seen and just understand about gold for setups, right? Potential setups to form this golden zone, right? Golden zone is, like I said, more short-term scalping. It's not long-term trades. It's not long-term. Trades at maybe an hour max. An hour max. Let me play the slideshow here for you guys. It could be 15, 30-minute ideas to an hour, right? The reason is because our targets aren't always that far as well. We're looking to catch that move, an accurate move, right? So Golden Zone main purpose is to provide you with a high confirmation zone that gives you precise data. So how it works, I kind of just explained how it works through what we do, but it uses a theory of whole numbers, combination of simple market structure, support and resistance, candlestick patterns, simple break and retest, and market timing. Some of the things I've mentioned already that we have naturally done for years. Us humans, right? I don't like to say technology is taking over, but technology is advanced and we can adapt to it. We can take advantage of it. I'm a very practical person. I like to do things old fashioned. I like to read the book in my hands, you know. I don't like to sit there and scroll and let technology take over me. I like to utilize it, right? Same with the internet. You can entertain yourself on the internet or you can educate yourself on it, right? So we like to do with our academy, with Forex, crypto, all the other academies and educators. We like to educate. That's our version of entertainment is education. So here's just how it works, right? It finds these multiple confirmations for us. It does the work for us through technology. Like I said, we found a way to let artificial intelligence and scanners. There's been scanners for a long time now. This is the gold one. So it'll display this gold box, right? known as the golden zone. This is an ideal zone for possible entries, potential, right? Potential entries, which is an ideal zone of action or ideal zone for reaction in the market. This is some rules. I'm going to come back to this. This will be important after. This is just some little rules on discipline. Let's come back to that in a minute. And let's come back to that in a minute as well. Let's go to the pictures, for example. I'm going to show you some pictures, guys, and go back to the scanner as well. Some of the things it takes into consideration, the things that we do. We can still do our own analysis and look at like what we know and what we're educated on. But when the golden zone appears, it's taking into consideration all those things that I mentioned, right? So this means it's confirming a setup. We have a check mark. The check mark confirms there's a possible setup, right? This is called the golden zone breakout. The parameters for the idea will be placed on the chart and on the alert panel. Now, a lot of people might be wondering where the alert panel is. So there's like an on and off switch for the alert panel next to the languages or next to like your username. There's an alert panel here. It basically like switches it on and off, makes the chart bigger. We're going to change that logo, make it a bit bigger, and change it to a more colorful look very soon. Let's go back to this. There. So golden zone breakout. We had a great setup today in New York session on this. I'm going to show you guys because I screenshotted it when in the moment. But this broke out. There's a check mark here. The golden zone appears. Ideally, we want to see the market pull back to the golden zone and retest it. We call it the zone of action. The golden zone is a zone of action where we look for possible entries. Ideally, anywhere inside the zone can be good for a possible entry. This is pulling back to the zone. The market's dropping already. I can see it's breaking lower, breaking up, breaking lower, pulls back into the zone. It's doing this for us. It's doing this for us. And then retests. So this candle pushes up to the zone, and it actually pushed up to here at one point in the middle of the zone. We have the beginning of the zone, the middle of the zone, the end of the zone. The zone distance isn't that large in terms of pips, right? The zone distance is 10 pips. The zone's always going to be the same size, 10 pips. This is made for scalping. So that's why the invalidation zone is also a tighter one. It's about 10 to 15 pips inside that zone. So this went up inside the zone and then it came down. The next candle pushed. So it closed bearish in the zone and then dropped. This is golden zone. Right now we're Friday afternoon. This is the time where the market's closing. Fridays are a day where we like to keep it simple and maybe only look for one or two setups. We don't like to always go full force on Fridays because I like to think of trading like a sport, like offense, defense. So Monday to Thursday or Monday up into Friday, we see a lot of setups happening. There's nothing right now because of the time of the day, time of the week. Even if it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this time for gold and the general market for Forex is not a good time. It's a closing time. So afternoon hours, and in our sessions, we go over that stuff more into detail of times of the day. All right. So nothing's going to be on the alert panel right now due to market closing. We had a great idea earlier today that I took a screenshot of that goes through pretty much what I just explained. This is something that I displayed during New York session. It was in Eastern time, my time, 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:18 actually. It was at 9:18, a little bit after the New York session began. The golden zones displayed There's the check mark. This already moved up, but even in this type of scenario, we can anticipate a possible pullback to the golden zone and retest the zone. This broke above the zone. The golden zone's printed, kind of like what I showed before of, okay? The golden zone's printed, breaks below the golden zone. The check mark, we want to see it pull back to the zone to react. This broke above. In the next slide, it pulled right back to the golden zone and reacted. I got tagged in this one a lot today. I didn't repost as much yet, but this is one of the setups. I was watching this live as it was happening during the New York session. It's a simple strategy to understand, but we just stay patient with it. We like to see and wait for the golden zone to appear. There's a lot of setups that can happen every day. A couple of setups can happen during London session, New York session. There could be, it's not just one or two setups a day. It could be 3 setups or 2 to 3 different setups that it might print in a couple of hours during a market session. So we do like to stay patient. With that being said, if you want to get used to it, stay patient, let the box appear, wait for the golden zone, confirm some of the things I mentioned. This is some of the stuff I like to look at in terms of gold. And this right here, how golden zone works, how it works, golden zone, how it works, right? These are a lot of the confirmations I look for as a trader and that we do as traders naturally, right? Golden zone does that. We can still look at golden zone and take those things into consideration, but this is a lot of the stuff we do the education on in our favorite sessions and on our Go Lives. Pretty much every day, guys, we're teaching about gold and gold only. And like I said, like my beginning journeys, I would say my first 3-4 years was a lot of, figuring it out, kind of, figuring it out, maybe not doing things as the way I should have, focusing on too much. And in trading, I think it's good to find maybe a couple things you like. It could be one thing, it could be 2 things, 3 things even. It doesn't just have to be gold. Like I like to look at Forex pairs too, not as much, right? I like crypto in a certain way, in a long-term perspective way, but I like day trading gold. I like looking at gold every day, trading gold every week. And for me, that was the turning point years ago where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on only gold, and made a difference for me. Got really good with it. And now I have a really good understanding of, gold. That's what I recommend, even if you're new in the market or even if you're experienced and you find you're like struggling with discipline or consistency, focus on fewer things. Less is more. What I had a problem with was if I was looking at 10 different pairs at once, I had too many decisions to make. So I couldn't decide like, okay, which one to trade. Like I had this pair, I had this pair, this pair, this pair, this pair. I had a lot of pairs I would look at all the time. I would look at a big list of pairs, more than 10 usually I would look at. And that confused me. That made my decision making not as easier or not as good, not as consistent. So when I was like, I'm just going to only trade this, it was like, okay, that's all I'm going to decide to trade. That's all I can trade, right? That's all. My decision making was just focused on that. So I became better with gold. So yeah, we have really good all around education, guys, with gold. Like I showed you guys, you can access it in the foreign exchange courses where the strategies are. There are some new changes coming to the IM Center, to Pip Talk, and some of the other stuff that we already have in the academy, like Pip Talk, like the IM Center. But that's just a quick little intro for you guys on gold. Gold watch. If you guys want to go further in depth on information, go to Go Live, right? And I've just got to load this laptop real quick. Bear with me for a minute. Should load in a minute. Might have to just go to my channel. Let me just log in. All right. Sorry about that. Not giving me the option. Temporary. Here, let's see. It's probably because I'm logged in on my other laptop right here next to me. And there we go. You can go to my Go Live channel, guys. I'm trying to load it up. It's probably because this is a brand new laptop. This is my first Zoom call with it. Well, second now, actually. There we go. You can find me on the top featured sessions. If you scroll on Go Live, you just have to go over a bit. Top featured there. We're changing a lot of things around, but easier way, that's one easy, quick way, or under the foreign exchange Go Live channel. You can see my name right here. I've been Cabral. I go live every day, Monday to Friday. Only days I don't go live is weekends. Markets closed. You know, I don't like to look at the markets on the weekends, just like to look at it in the weekdays. So on Mondays, 2 times. But if you click on my channel, guys, and you go to favorite sessions, there are some more intensive training videos on, you know, Golden Zone, Gold Watch, Aurous training, Golden Zone, and how to access it, and some other ones there. So I would check those out if you haven't seen it. We got finished a session not that long ago. This is Go Live. Again, for anybody who's new, and you can see the chat box here where people ask us questions about the scanner. People tune in live every day to learn about this, and it's an amazing scanner. I love Golden Zone. That's how Christian and I really trade the market for years now, and we've had some really good results and good understanding. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little intro today. On the scanner, like I said, check out the favorite sessions. I'm sure a lot of questions will get answered in those videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys enjoyed this. So is the Golden Zone still valid even after the flag? It is still valid after the flag's printed. Christian explains a lot about that in his calls. He has some training on that and rules on that. If you go to Christian's page and you want to really learn more about the flags, I teach a lot about both. He teaches a lot about the Golden Zone scanner. So under his favorite sessions, he has 2 videos. I would check those out. If you haven't seen them, he goes through some rules about the check mark and the flag. You have an option, and he goes over the rules with those options on, okay, what's better to do with the flag, or because yes, sometimes the flag will appear. He talks about it in those videos. You took 6. You took 6 and they all hit, you know. I would watch the video boot camps before you know, get into the setups, because what we're looking for is kind of what I just went over, right? On Golden Zone, what we're looking for is these step-by-steps on the screenshot. That's why I say it's patient to wait for that to confirm. Wait for the check mark. I like to wait for a full retest of the zone, right? I like to wait for a full retest and close inside the zone, something like this. I always like to see the market close outside, retest fully. Because this morning, it might be looking for the same setup more than once. It was trying to find more than one setup in this whole same area for this. But what we recommend is only looking for one setup a day starting out, because it can call out multiple setups. So what we recommend is only looking for one setup a day. Christian goes into a lot of the confirmation rules in his favorite sessions. So if you haven't seen the favorite session videos too, that will help a lot more with understanding of what to do and how to confirm it better. So check those out. You don't need to be taking a lot of setups every day. One a day is all you need with this type of setup, with this type of scanner, until you get used to it. I wouldn't be trying to take a lot of setups. If you're seeing more invalidation levels, try to lower the frequency of setups and only look for 1 or 2 setups a day at certain times of the day as well. We like to focus on London Open. We like to look at the market during the London Open hours and the New York Open hours. One thing I can add on, it's also better to confirm it with the 15-minute time frame as well. So watch Christian's videos, guys, if you haven't as well. If you are having struggles confirming, certain setups, certain ideas, because there will be multiple setups, but there's ways we confirm it. There are some things we want to know, right? We don't just look at it and go, okay, take every single setup. We want to be patient as well and wait for certain confirmations. So these are some of the rules and tips we have, and Christian goes over these rules and tips in his favorite sessions as well. I would check out the videos in the favorite sessions. Those should help out. But yeah, guys, that's all I really got for today on this kind of intro to the scanner. Don't want to be too long today and go over so much. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope this was some help, some valuable information you guys can help out and see some value with. Yeah, so if it already heads to the zone, wait for another setup or just consider it invalid. Christian talks about that in his favorite sessions. We talk about that a little bit in mine as well. So if it hits an exit point already, that's what the check mark is saying. The check mark is saying you can invalidate this because it already moved. The retest didn't happen. You can consider a retest, but because it already moved, it's not as high probability. So there are ideas that we ignore and say, okay, it already moved. Let me wait and see if there's another setup that comes later on. Those are the types of ideas we have to scratch away. If the check mark appears and the market will keep going, that's a way to invalidate. What we're going to do to fix that solution is after a certain amount of time or at certain times of the day, there won't be setups happening, right? Like during these hours, there won't be setups happening during the afternoon or when things are super slow. But after a certain amount of time, we're going to have it so the idea gets erased if it keeps moving. But what the check mark is saying is that it already moved. It can come back to the golden zone. But once it breaks, we're looking for a retest. We don't want to see it keep going. Once it breaks the zone and closes above it, we want to see a retest. It doesn't always retest it. Doesn't have to. So I see a lot of you guys kind of on the similar question in the chat. It can just keep going, right? If that happens, that check mark's going to appear. That check mark kind of lowers the probability, or not the check mark, the flag. The flag is going to appear. That flag is basically saying, okay, we should scratch this idea, look for another one, stay more patient. It could still retest the zone. And I know in his favorite sessions, there's 2 videos. He goes over that stuff in there. And all next week, up until October, we're going to be going over this stuff on our sessions, rules, tips, and tricks for the next week. Every session is basically going to be like this, how you guys see rules, tips, answering questions up until October, because we're going to be making some changes soon as well with the scanner, some minor updates. But yeah, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this session. Hope you guys got value. Check out the favorite sessions. I'm out. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. It was a great convention we just had. You guys might have saw. That's where we launched the scanner. It's be great to be at the next one. Budapest. I'm gonna be there. I know we're having a convention there. That's exciting. I can't wait for that because if you were at this one was super. I've been to a lot of events in my years, and this one was super. So I'm excited for the next one. I know a lot of you guys saw us there. But yeah, guys, thanks for having me on. I'll pass it back to you guys on the chat or on the Zoom. Pass it back to the chairman leader. Here we go. There you are.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for coming on the call. We truly appreciate you. Ladies and gents, Evan Cabral, our phenomenal educator. Before he goes, let's once again put 777 in the chat. Let's appreciate his time. Let's not take it for granted. Thank you. Thank you once again. We truly appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming on the call. And ladies and gents, as he said earlier, it's about making a decision. That's the decision you need to make. If some of you, all of you are looking really to learn, what you need to do, you need to connect with him. And the best way to connect with him, he's available all the time on Go Live session. Go Live sessions, Go Live sessions are your mentorship. Okay, so he cannot decide for you. I cannot decide for you. No one can decide for you. So instead of looking for the shortcuts, all you need to do, you need to make a committed decision. Do I want to waste time, or am I really here to learn? Am I going to depend on people, or am I really here to learn a skill set? If your decision is to learn, then look at the, this is like literally so many hours of education him and Christian are delivering all the time on the Go Live. Take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. Make a commitment. Look how many years it took him to learn, and finally he made a decision to specialize him in one currency pair, and look where he is today. A lot of people around the world are benefiting from his experience. So that's all it takes. You need to make a decision. Make the right decision that I'm willing to learn. Connect with him on the Go Live session. He's available all the time. Look at how many days: Monday, Tuesday, I can see on the screen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. My God, all week round, you are getting him on the Go Live session. So ladies and gents, take advantage of that. Make a decision. And we all are, sir, looking forward to see you in Budapest. Thank you once again for coming on the call.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. I'll see you guys soon. If you guys ever need any other information, feel free to reach out. Thanks for having me on the call, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Thank you, sir, once again. So ladies and gents, now it's the time to make a decision. It is a time for you to really make a decision. Okay, you know what? I am going to learn this. I am really going to learn this. I'm really going to commit myself. Okay, you know what? I need to learn this. Because this is, at the end of the day, your decision, your choice. I Am Mastery Academy is an educational platform, okay, which is already serving from well over 10 years in the market now through the power of education. So make that right decision. Make a decision. Okay, you know what? I'm going to learn it. And all it takes just one session, Monday to Friday. Maybe you will miss some of the session. The recorded versions are there. The favorite sessions are there. It does not matter how much expert you are, how much knowledge you have right now. All it takes one decision that I'm going to learn. He's available to you guys. But again, as I said, I can't decide for you. Make this real clear decision. Plug into those Go Live sessions. Instead of waiting for someone's help, is it better to learn from somebody in the team, frankly speaking, or is it better to learn from somebody who is already 8 years in the market and he is teaching already thousands of people around the world? So ladies and gents, we have those facilities. We have that system over here. And I'm really encouraging and looking forward to see every one of you connecting him on the Go Live session so you can really take this skill set to the next level. We all have seen already wonderful chart analysis on the Go Live session or on the scanner already. A lot of people are loving this scanner. So now it's the time to make commitment to learn, and let's take this skill set to the next level. And the next announcement, quick one, 3rd of October, we have event in London with Matt Rosa, our chairman 750, and a lot of other IM educators are coming. Book your tickets. We have a small venue this time in London. We have like about small capacity. A lot of tickets have gone already. Do not leave it to the last minute. If you don't have the ticket link right now, ask your chairman, ask your platinum leaders, and they will send you the details. It is an evening event on 3rd of October. Let's pack the room, and I'm looking forward to see you, every single one of you there. Thank you once again for everyone coming on the call, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, everyone. Thank you.